Hello children, in this video I am going to explain you about the basics of circulatory system. So before starting the circulatory system, we should know about the structure of the heart. The heart is a muscular pumping organ and it is of the size of a fist and is shaped like a cone. It lies between the two lungs in our chest cavity, slightly towards left side. And as you all know that its walls are formed of cardiac muscles. These muscles contract and relax tirelessly throughout life. Because of cardiac muscles, heart beats continuously and pumps blood into the arteries. So as you all know that our heart is having 4 chambers. Now we will discuss about the structure of the heart. First we will mark the left and the right side of the heart. So first we will consider this as a left side and this as right side. So children, here you can see that the left and the right side we have considered, and starting from the lower bottom of the heart there are 2 chambers and they are known as the ventricles. Now this is the left ventricle and this one is the right ventricle. So also you can write like this, LV and RV. Now you can see here the left ventricle is having, or the ventricles are having, the thick wall. This is the thick wall in comparison to the auricles. Okay, why is it so? Because the ventricles are known as the distributing chambers. Okay, so they distribute the blood, the oxygenated blood or the blood, to different parts of the body. Especially the left ventricle is having the thick walls because it needs support to pump the blood to all parts of the body. Now here the next structure is the aorta. This is the aorta, which is the largest, you can say that, and it will take the blood to all parts of the body. Okay, so it is having the valve which will open upward, and this valve is known as the semilunar valve, and this valve is known as the bicuspid, or you can say that mitral valve. Okay, now this one will open downward, whereas semilunar valve will open upward. Okay, now when this valve is formed, there will be another chamber formed which is known as the left atrium. This is the left atrium. So this can be denoted as LA, left atrium. So we are talking about the left side of the heart. Now to this left atrium there are 2 veins and they are known as the pulmonary veins. Now these 2 veins, especially there are 4 veins, they are attached to the lungs and they will bring the blood to the left atrium from the lungs after the oxygenation process. So this is the left ventricle and this is the left atrium. Now here comes the 2 chamber which is guarded with 2 kinds of valves. One is the semilunar valve, okay, and another is the bicuspid or mitral valve. Bicuspid valve will open downward, whereas this semilunar valve will open upward, and this one is also known as left auriculoventricular valve. Now when we talk about the right side of the heart, again the structure is same. How? Here you can see another vessel is there and that is also having the valve. This valve is opened into the pulmonary artery which is attached to the lungs, and they will take the blood from right ventricle to the lungs. Okay, so this is, the walls are there. Again this one will open upward. Again, as it is present here, the walls are present. One kind of wall is present here also, but it is having 3 flap like structure, and that's why it is known as the tricuspid valves. As it is opening downward, in the same way this also will open downward. Pulmonary semilunar valve, that will open upward just like the aortic semilunar valve. When this valve are formed, then it will form another chamber and that is called the right atrium. Now this right atrium is connected to the larger veins. They are known as the superior vena cava and the below one is known as the inferior vena cava. Okay, superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Superior vena cava will bring the blood from head region and shoulder region which is above the heart. Okay, which is above the heart, whereas inferior vena cava, they will bring the blood from all over the body, which is below the heart. So that's why it is known as inferior vena cava. So this one will open into the right atrium. Now children, when we talk about the circulation of blood inside the heart, how it happens and in which way it goes. Now I am going to describe about this. First, the blood will come from the pulmonary vein. Okay, through the pulmonary vein it will enter inside the heart. Where it will enter? It will enter into the left atrium. From where it is coming? It is coming from the lungs after getting oxygen. That means the blood which is coming from the lungs through pulmonary vein, that will become the oxygenated blood, and they will come inside the left atrium. Okay. Now, when the left atrium will be filled with blood, this bicuspid wall will get open. Okay, it will get open and the blood will come into the left ventricle. Now left ventricle will have the oxygenated blood, and when this left ventricle get contracted, then the semilunar wall will get open and the blood will get ejected out into the aorta, and through aorta it goes to all parts of the body. Which blood will go? That is the oxygenated blood. Now this blood will get circulated in whole body, and then again after getting circulated in whole body and the exchange of gases will take place inside the capillaries, the blood will move further again towards the heart. The top portion of your body will give the blood through the superior vena cava. It enters inside the heart, and as I told you, inferior vena cava will bring the blood from the below part of your body, and that will also get poured inside the right auricle. Now from the right auricle, this one will drain inside the right ventricle. Okay, the blood will come as the tricuspid wall will get open, the blood will get inside the right ventricle. This blood is the deoxygenated blood. It does not have the oxygen because it is the used blood. Who has used this? The blood cells have already used and exchanged the gases. So it will have lots of carbon dioxide inside. Now this blood will get into the lungs through the pulmonary artery. So both lungs are attached with the pulmonary artery. So when the blood will be pumped from the right ventricle, it goes to the lungs, and then there will be the oxygenation process. And again, as you see, the oxygenated blood will come back into the heart through the pulmonary veins. That's why it is told that pulmonary vein is the only vein which carry oxygenated blood, whereas pulmonary artery is the artery which carry only the deoxygenated blood. Okay, all the other arteries will have the oxygenated blood except the pulmonary artery. So in this way the blood is circulated inside the heart. Now one more important thing is this, that these valves, bicuspid valve and tricuspid valves, they are bounded with the tendons so that they should not open on the another side. Okay, and with this they are attached with the muscles so that they should not open on the another side. Only one way direction is there, one way open it will open downward, and this one will also open downward. So this one will ensure the opening of the valves only in one way, and in this way the blood will also flow in one way. Another thing, to separate these two portions, the left and the right side of the heart, that will be separated with the muscular wall, and this is called the heart septum. Now one more protective thing about the heart is that it is bounded with a protective membrane, and that is made up of fibrous tissues called the pericardium. Pericardium, that means it is covering the whole heart. Okay, and cardium is related to the heart. Okay, so pericardium is a double membrane it is, and in between these two membrane the liquid is filled, which is called the pericardial fluid. What it does, it prevents friction between the two membrane, and this pericardium helps in the protection of the heart. It does not allow the heart to over expand. Okay, though it will expand and contract, but to prevent from the over expansion, this pericardium is very much helpful. So dear children, here is a quick review of the heart. That is, the heart is having 4 chambers. 2 lower chambers are known as the distributing chambers and 2 upper chambers are known as the receiving chambers. Because this upper chambers are auricles and they receive the blood, whereas the lower chambers, they will distribute the blood into the lungs and all parts of the body. So dear children, this was all about the structure and function of the heart. Hope you all have understood this.